It's September 12th, and Barcelona plays their first ever matchup under Koeman, and the starting lineup has just been revealed. I have not seen it yet. We're going to be analyzing this game. Let's go ahead and get started. What's up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. I know I haven't posted in about a week. I've been very busy with school. As you guys may know, I'm in dental school, and these coming months are some of the toughest months of all of dental school. So that's why I've been a little bit absent. But however, today the person that is actually absent is my brother, Ricky, who is actually a Barcelona fan. So shame to him. However, me, myself, as a Madrid fan, am going to be analyzing this game. Now, I'm not going to be doing a live reaction. I'm just going to take my time and really analyze this game so I can give you guys the best analysis rather than just reaction videos. Without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this lineup. The first ever lineup under the Koeman era for Barcelona. So let me go look at it. They have Neto in goal, Piqué as a center back, Sergio Busquets as a CDM, Aleñá is starting. Aleñá has just come back from Real Betis, so that's interesting that he gets the startup. And he's number 6 now. Okay, Griezmann, who recently got his new number 7, and oh man, Lionel Messi and Ousmane Dembele are both starting. Obviously, you guys know what was going on with Messi, and Dembele is finally back from injury. That's going to be very interesting to see how he comes back from injury. He missed like the last 4 or 5 months of La Liga last year. So let's see how he comes back. Alongside Piqué, it's going to be Lenglet. On the left back, we have Jordi Alba, and on the right back, we have Sergi Roberto. And the last player on that lineup is Pedri, a man that Ricky named in his 5 predictions for Barcelona this season as one of his standout players. So guys, this looks to be like a very interesting lineup for Koeman. I'm excited to see what this Barcelona is going to have. Let's go ahead and get into this game. I will be back at halftime. See you guys. Okay, guys, so the first half is officially in the books. We saw Koeman start off with a 4-2-3-1 with Messi as that sole striker. So I was very curious to see how Messi was going to be playing, and especially how Griezmann was going to do. So we're going to be discussing that right now. Also, on the bench, we saw Coutinho, De Jong, Trincao, and Ricky Puig, who will be definitely some good subs to come in for the second half and to monitor their performance. So before starting with the actual analysis of the first half, I just kind of want to remind you guys that this is a preseason friendly. So obviously we're not going to be seeing Barca go full on, 100%. They don't want to get any injuries and get too exhausted before the start of La Liga. And secondly, they are playing against Gimnàstic, which is a 3rd division team. So obviously this game is going to be a lot easier and doesn't fully measure what Barcelona has, but it's just basically to get them started, right? So let's go ahead and start off. We saw Messi as captain, and you guys already know how I feel about that, so there's not many changes happening there. But minute 4, we saw the first goal of the game, which came through the feet of Dembele. So basically, it was a pretty good play from Barcelona. Lots of passing, which we're going to be, at the end of the first half analysis, we're going to talk about, the overall tactics that Koeman implemented to this team. But we saw a lot of horizontal passing, which was fine, until they finally got that vertical pass, and they made that diagonal ball, which we saw Griezmann and another player do a very nice dummy, and by letting the ball go through their legs, and then just overall, horrible defending from Gimnàstic. They try to get a tackle in there, miss the ball, whiff the ball, and somehow the ball ends up on to Dembele in front of the goalie, where he just has to tap it in past the goalie. So overall, pretty easy goal. However, it was definitely a great start to Barcelona for the game. So like I said, minute 4. So as the game went on, I started to notice some very good combination play between Jordi Alba and Ousmane Dembele, who were both playing on that left side. So Jordi Alba was pushing up a lot, trying to connect with Dembele, doing 1-2s. So they looked very good, especially those first 20 minutes. However, as the game went on, I definitely noticed Jordi Alba getting a little bit more tired, and he stopped pushing up as much. So that could potentially be something that becomes a trend for Barcelona in the season, because Jordi Alba is getting a little older. He doesn't have as much stamina, as much energy as he did, years before. So we could see him start to die off. And Jordi Alba was very much known for pushing up very high and always being at that very basically by the goal line to get any lob balls. So that was kind of interesting to see. I also noticed Messi dropping back a lot, coming down very deep to receive the ball, and Griezmann replacing him. So that could potentially be a good tactic, right? Because obviously defenders, especially center backs, are going to want to stay very close to Messi. So if Messi drops down, he basically is pulling the center backs out of position, and then Griezmann is replacing that. But that could also show a sign of frustration from Messi by dropping back because he's not receiving the ball as much, which leads me to Messi's actual performance this half, which I thought was a bit lethargic. Obviously, he has not practiced very much. He's only been in training, a few days, and I was actually very surprised to see him start this game. So he didn't look very sharp. Looked a bit off. Dribbling wise, it seemed like he wasn't very into it. He wasn't getting past defenders. They would pass him the ball, and he would miss a lot. His ball control was not very good. And additionally, I feel like he misplaced a couple passes. I'm not going to bash on him too much. Like I said, he hasn't practiced very much, but that is something that I definitely noticed. Additionally, I saw defenders from the other team, try to get under his skin by, saying things to him, and he looked quite irritable. So that could potentially be a tactic for defenses to employ on Messi this season. As we know, he's starting to get a little more frustrated. Obviously, he wanted to leave the club. So that could be a tactic that defenses employ on Messi. Moving on, we saw minute 18, Barcelona get the 2-0, which was honestly through a penalty, and a very stupid penalty. You definitely could see like the lack of experience in the Gimnàstic defense, as they just basically pulled Piqué's shirt as he was trying to make a run, and Piqué's obviously going to fall very easily knowing that his shirt is being pulled, and obviously the ref called the penalty. However, interestingly enough, we saw Messi give the penalty to Griezmann, which is a nice gesture from Messi to try to get Griezmann a little more confidence. A Griezmann who, in the grand scheme of things, after this first half, I honestly did not see very much. I know there's going to be a lot of changes for the second half, but personally, I would love it if Koeman would take Messi out and we could see how Griezmann performs by himself, basically him being the commander of the attack. Overall, Koeman looked pretty calm on the bench. However, Gimnàstic wasn't really creating many attacks. And one thing that I noticed from Barca is that they were pressing pretty fast as soon as they lost the ball, so they were getting the ball back pretty quickly. However, the times that Gimnàstic did break through that quick pressure, they created a lot of problems for Barcelona. These problems did not come by in shots because they weren't finalizing the play. However, they were breaking through, and you could see that Barca did not have the legs and the stamina to catch up to them, right? So their goal, minute 30, actually came in this exact play in which they were able to break through the high press for Barcelona, and Barca wasn't able to chase them back and win the ball back. And so when the Gimnàstic attacker finally got to the final third in the Barcelona half, you saw as the center backs, both Lenglet and Piqué failed to step to the player, and so the players took his space and took a shot from far out. And it was a beautiful curler that Neto could do nothing about. So that was a 2-1 for Gimnàstic, and it seemed like it came a little too easy for them. A little too easy because of the fact that they have not had very many attacks, even though their attacks had been dangerous. So to finalize what I saw in this first half is we saw Barcelona that came out very strong from right away, right? They had a lot of intensity. However, I felt like that intensity definitely died down as the minutes kept on going through. Some tactics that I have definitely seen Koeman employ is very fast recoveries. So the moment they lose the ball, they are pressing very hard with multiple players on the ball, on that ball carrier that from the other team. Aside from that, some very quick passing. I will say, though, that I felt like it was a little too much of horizontal passing, not enough vertical passing, which is something that Barcelona has definitely been criticized for in the past couple of years, as a comparison to the Barcelona that used to play with Xavi and Iniesta that had a lot more vertical passing. So obviously this isn't a completely terrible sign just yet. It's the first game, and they're still building chemistry. However, that is definitely something that I noticed. My standout player for this first half was Aleñá. He looked very comfortable on the ball, making very quick recoveries on the ball. He was basically like the main guy on where I noticed that Barca was doing this quick high press. So looked very good on the ball and was employing very quick passing. So Aleñá could be a potentially very good signing because he just came back, right? He was loaned out. So he could be potentially very good for Barcelona this season. I know the second half is going to have a lot of changes because normally preseason friendlies come with a complete starting lineup change by the second half. We will probably be seeing Martin Braithwaite go up top instead for Messi. Felipe Coutinho go in for Griezmann at the center attacking mid, and on the wings, finally get to see Trincao play with a Barcelona jersey. So there's a lot to look forward to for Barcelona fans in the second half. Like I said, I don't think there will be as many goals. I think the final score could be maybe just like a 3-1 victory for Barcelona. So anyways, that is my first half analysis. Let's go ahead and get on to the second half analysis. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so the second half and the full game, as a matter of fact, has finalized. And overall, I will say that this was not the most exciting second half. And honestly, I expected it with all the subs that were made. It's very hard to go right back into that intensity. And in addition to that, Barcelona's overall quality decreased with the new subs. They definitely played the majority of their starters in that first half. But with that being said, Trincao definitely, in my opinion, lived up to the majority of the expectations. He had a good debut with Barcelona. Right away, within the first 15 minutes, he has a very good solo play in which he dribbles past a lot of defenders and then gets knocked down in the box. In my opinion, that was a penalty. However, the ref decided not to call the penalty. Overall, Barca's intensity, I know I just said that it wasn't going to be as great, but they did start out with a greater level of intensity. Not as much as the first half, but they definitely had intensity. However, just like in the first half, that intensity definitely died down. Minute 50, however, we saw Semedo running down that right wing. He was definitely terrorizing defenders on that right wing, very much like Jordi Alba was doing in the first 20 minutes of the first half, except this time on the right side. He was combining quite well with Coutinho, and he put in a cross that hit the hand of the Gimnàstic defender and actually ended up going into the back of the net. However, the referee had already called the PK prior to the ball going into the net. The PK was called, Coutinho took it and scored it. So nice to see Coutinho scoring once again with a Barca jersey. I'm sure Barca fans will be excited about him and his overall performance for the rest of the season. Trincao continued to show some of his skills as he played a beautiful lob ball over to the left winger, the young left winger Konrad, who actually put it in the back of the net. However, the play and the goal itself did not count as Konrad was slightly offsides. But like I said, guys, Trincao, at least those first 20 minutes showed a lot of promise. After that, I feel like his performance kind of slowed down, which kind of translates to the whole team. I feel like once they had that 3-1 lead, they just they kept the game under control, knocked it around, but not many more chances were created after that. I believe Coutinho, he had a shot here and there, and then he had a one-on-one towards the end that the goalie saved pretty nicely, cut down his space and saved nicely. So I guess to summarize this, I think the first half was probably the best part to analyze. However, I think it's a good start to the Koeman era, and there are definitely some positives to take away from Barcelona fans from this matchup, which is definitely the high pressure of the team that they employed, especially in that first half. My question is, will they be able to keep that high pressure up for the remainder of the season, and especially when it comes to the tougher teams? I don't know about that, especially with the fact that Messi and Suarez, if he ends up staying, he wasn't called up for this game, but apparently him and Juventus are having some issues. If he ends up staying, he's definitely going to be the starter, and they definitely don't have the legs anymore to keep that high pressure up. So it'll be interesting to see how Barcelona copes with their new tactic of high pressure. Aside from that, I definitely did like some of the youngsters' performances, especially Trincao, Aleñá, and Riqui Puig. I think once again lived up to his high expectations that he left off last season with. So maybe Barcelona season will not be as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I still think that Madrid will take them, but that will be more in the video that I'm going to do in a couple of days, in which I will give my 5 predictions for Real Madrid in this coming season in La Liga. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the analysis, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Go check out all of our other videos. Once again, I'm sorry that the Barcelona fan of the account wasn't able to be here, but as a Real Madrid fan, I'm always happy to analyze the main opponent and know how to break them down. So whether you're a Barcelona fan, a Bayern Munich fan, a Real Madrid fan, or any other team out there, I hope you have a wonderful day today. I will see you guys next video. And, well, I love Madrid for me, but good job, Barcelona. Good job for today. See you later, guys.